guys, what's up? Welcome to Geektoid, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Suicide Squad. First up, let me just say my initial thoughts of the movie is, I liked it. I'm not going to say I loved it, I'm not going to say, like, I hated it, I'm definitely not going to say it deserves 26% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. That's just stupid. This movie is probably the best DC Universe film we have had. And I'm not talking about the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy either. I'm talking about from when Zack Snyder did Man of Steel to Batman v Superman, and now this one. This is the best out of those three. And I could say that it's not saying much, but actually it's saying quite a lot. And it's saying quite a lot because I really fucking hate Man of Steel. I hate it with a passion. To me, Man of Steel is the DC equivalent of The Last Airbender. And then we had Batman v Superman. Now, Batman v Superman had its fucking share of problems. In fact, it had a lot of problems. I have to say that for the most part, I kind of enjoyed the action sequences. Were much better than Man of Steel. I really enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman. But the movie as a whole, shitty fucking character development. It was a terrible fucking story. I hated the fucking plot twist of Martha. Like, who the fuck idea was that? Oh, I hate you. They made this jagoff head of DC. The motherfucker who said it was a good idea to have them not fight each other anymore because their mutual mother's name was Martha. The stupidest fucking thing I could have imagined to put in a goddamn comic book movie. That was what they put in a comic book movie. That was what they put in a comic book movie. Fuck you. But I digress. Now we have Suicide Squad, directed by David Ayer, who's probably best known for his work on End of Watch. And he succeeded. It's not a perfect film, but there's not a lot I can say negatively about it. Can I say maybe it was a little jumbled? Yeah, I can say it may have been a little jumbled because there's a lot of characters and they're trying to kind of handle them all. But I think that with the central characters that they presented to us, which was Harley Quinn and Deadshot and a couple of other people, they succeeded in developing their characters a lot. I really enjoyed Will Smith as Deadshot. And I was really reserved about liking Will Smith as Deadshot in this movie. I, in fact, thought he was gonna shit it all over the place. But he did a really great job. In fact, I found myself kind of, doing a fanboy, clap and glee and squeal when there's a specific shot. I'm not going to try to give too much away, again, spoiler free, but this specific shot that looked like it came straight from a comic book, and Deadshot is just there, and it's kind of slow motion, and it's just so awesome looking. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. You know that Harley Quinn from, like, Batman Arkham Asylum or Arkham Knight or something? That's kind of the Harley Quinn we're getting in this film. She nails the voice, she nails the mannerisms, she nails that character very good. And it's like the Harley Quinn that you've always wanted to see on the big screen, and I want to applaud Margot Robbie and Will Smith for doing just that. All the other characters, Enchantress, Killer Croc, Captain Boomerang, Diablo, Katana, they all did a fantastic job. It was just enough to where I was enjoying each of these characters. I was enjoying seeing their journey to whatever the end goal, to whatever that end goal was. I'm not gonna say what the end goal was, but it's something massive, and it's kind of a little quip I have about the film in general. Ultimately, at the end of the day, how I felt about Suicide Squad was, it's an 80s action movie. Plain and simple, it is there with the ranks of things like Kickboxer or Commando or even like Predator or something. You just have like a bunch of freaking misfits. So they all have their special abilities about them, and they're all getting together and they're trying to defeat this one thing. For that, I think that's where criticism from critics is coming from, because they're not necessarily understanding this. If this was a 1988 movie or something, it wouldn't get half the shit it's getting right now. I guarantee it. It is getting so blasted by critics, and for really being the best DC film. Now, I can see maybe where people might think it's mediocre, and maybe because we've gotten such bad DC films before, having just this mediocre film might put some of these critics over their top, and they're just like, no! Stop doing this to us, DC. And I get that, but it's actually a better film than I think everybody's giving it credit for. I don't even think it's mediocre. I could see where people might think it's mediocre, but I don't think it's mediocre myself. I think it's much better than that. Ghostbusters 2016 was a shitty fucking mediocre film. This is not. This is a lot better than that movie. It's a lot better than Batman v Superman. It's a lot better than Man of Steel. And if you're a DC fan, you like Harley Quinn, you like the comics, you know who some of these characters are, you're gonna love this movie. And if you don't, if you're looking for something like Marvel, you're not gonna like this movie very much. And that right there is another criticism from the critics. I think for a long time they were bashing a lot of these DC movies for not being Marvel enough. A lot of the criticisms from a lot of people was like, well, there's no levity in this, especially for Batman v Superman. A lot of the criticisms for Batman v Superman was, there's not enough levity in this. Everything's so dark and drab. Why can't it be just like a Marvel film? And then this movie comes out, and it's a lot more like a Marvel film than the other fucking films. And a big issue that I was coming across was, oh, it's trying to be a Marvel film now. Oh, I hate it. And I'm like, you just said you wanted more of that from the DC universe. You're getting that. It's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy with all the cool retro music they fucking play. So you're getting a little bit of that now. This is the closest to a Marvel movie that the DC universe has gotten, and people are still fucking complaining about it. Oh my god, shut the fuck up. So once again, if you like these characters, you're a big DC fanboy or girl, go out and see this movie. You're gonna get your money's worth. Even if you're a casual movie fan, you might actually like this movie. But if you like Marvel and you're just expecting more Marvel stuff, you're not gonna like this movie. And that's where I'm gonna end this conversation. Be sure to tune in later this week for an exclusive film battles, where I'm gonna be battling my buddy, the Film Rascal, about this film right here. And if you saw Suicide Squad, let me know in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I would love to know what you thought about it as well. Guys, thank you very much for watching. This has been Geektoid, and as always, until next time, live long and geek on.